Welcome. Today we're going to be talking about automated campaigns and sort of the benefits of that and what they all are. And there is a few different types of campaigns and they range in complexity, in depth, but they are all set it and forget it, easy ways to add value to your business through push notifications without much work. So I'm going to start showing my screen here. Look at this, amazing. So I think I'm going to jump right in here and I'm going to tell you probably the easiest way to do an automated campaign is just to set up a manual notification and set it to repeat. So we've got a lot of different variety here, but I've made a quick one here. So you build out your body and your title however you want, action buttons, whatever it is. The targeting, the conversions, we'll go over that on Thursday. And then we come to this section here. So if you want to set up a manual repeating, you just need to set this to true. You can set the frequency here, and you can set an end date if you want to. It's worth noting here that there are a few pros and cons. The pros being you can do a lot of targeting. For instance, let's say you want to set a repeating notification to hit everyone who's not been to your site in 5 days. You could do that in here. You could create a segment, which we'll go over, I'm sure, in another webinar, but you can create a simple segment and target those people and set it to set out weekly. Very simple. That's a good pro. The con is it's not dynamic. It doesn't react to a user on your website. It is whenever you set it up, that's when it's going to be set out. So with that being said, I want to jump right into some of the real automated campaigns. We're going to start off with the most simple and then go sort of more complex. But as you get more complex, the more customization options open up. So by far our most simple and most effective, in my opinion, notification is our welcome push notification, which, as you can imagine, gets sent out as a welcome for subscribing to your site. So it can be very simple like this. This took me 2 minutes to type out. And there's two things I want to talk about with welcome notifications: icon and images, and the link that you use. So with icons and images, it's very important that you use good colors, you use good images. It takes up real estate on your subscriber's screen, and it draws the attention. If you're using monotone gray colors or darker colors, chances are most people aren't going to be seeing them or aren't going to notice them. And so using good icons, using good images, even using emojis, I've not used any here, but using good emojis is another good way to add attention grabbing color. And the second thing is link. I give a second's thought to this. I just linked to the Aimtel blog here, but think about where you want to be linking to. If you're a publisher, maybe you want to be linking to your highest converting lead page. If you're a hotel or hospitality or anything like that, maybe you want to be linking, you want to be sending people immediately to booking pages of your most favorite hotel. If you're e-commerce, maybe you want to be sending them to sales or something like that. The reason is that most of the time the click-through rates on welcome notifications are usually the highest click-through rates on any campaign, simply because someone opts in and they immediately get a push. They usually click on it. So you set it up like this. You click on activate, so this one's already active, and you can view the results here and see the clicks start to flood in. This one should take you 2 minutes to set up, if that. Maybe a little bit longer if you want to get a good image, but this should take you minutes to set up, and it's a super easy way to add value. The second most simple automated notification is RSS notifications. Now, to do RSS notifications, all you need is an RSS feed URL or link. So I've actually made a little example one here. NASA.gov has got a bunch of different RSS feeds that are publicly accessible. So I've just pulled one of them. And all you need to do is, I'll get rid of this and I'll show you here. So you get rid of this, as you can see, there's nothing in there. So you put in one there, you click to refresh, and it will dynamically pull a title, a body, and link from your RSS feed, from your content. This title, body, and link will then be used in the actual notification. So whatever the title, body, and link are here, so you can see that this one will be this, the body will be this, and the link will be this. This will be what's in there. Now you could technically choose a recipient, and we'll come back to this, choose a recipient and click on save right now, and that's all you need to do. However, I like to do a little bit of customization. So maybe if you're doing a video RSS feed, you want to do watch RSS, or you want to do, I don't know, if the body is very long, you could do something like click here to watch more ... You can also, again, use emojis and things like this. I don't have any emojis there, but you can use emojis. And also you could do things like this. You can add action buttons. So if you're linking to a YouTube RSS, you can do a one-click subscribe URL here as well. So click here to subscribe. You know, the sky is really the limit. And this took 2 minutes to set up again. It's important to get a good icon. And if you want an image as well, select the recipients you want to send to. And probably the most important thing about RSS feeds is this thing right here. Now, some news sites, they are sending, 50 articles a day on particular RSS feed URLs and things like that. Well, you don't want your subscribers to be receiving 50 notifications per day. So maybe you want to send, 5 a day. Now, this particular RSS feed, you can see here the dates. This is weekly, so this one isn't going to matter that much. But like I said, you just hit true. You can choose your maximum number of sends, so 1 a day or 1 an hour or whatever you want there. You click on save, and that will now be working and will automatically send out notifications. This is a fantastic way to just do a set it and forget it with minimal work there. The third type of automated notifications that I want to highlight today are probably our most complex type, or I should say could be the most complex type, and that is our triggered notifications here. Now, there are a lot of different types of trigger notifications that you could potentially do. I've just listed a few here as examples, but a triggered notification can be described as so. You need to define a trigger, and once that trigger is pulled, a notification will automatically be sent for you. Now, that trigger can be anything, but it's based on tracked custom events. So if we go to our documentation center here, so custom events or tracking custom events requires a category and an action, and then these 3 here are optional. So a category could be video and the action could be watched. The category could be PDF and the action could be downloaded. It could be URL visited. It could be a cart abandoned. The sky is really the limit here, and we've left this deliberately open-ended. There's 2 ways to track custom events. One, using a simple JavaScript code, or using our API. Now, the API is a little bit more advanced, and if you have a dev team or you have a dev team, you should definitely check out our public-facing API. We're very, very, very proud of it. And that's accessible at aimtel.com/API, and you can have a look at there. But for most people, this is what you're going to be using here. So all you do is that you set a category, you set an action, and if you want to put a label for it, or a value, or even variables to make it as granular as you want, or as sort of open-ended as you want, that's what you do. You'd create this code, you'd put the script on your website, and once it has begun to track those events, you can verify that they're happening down here in custom event logs. Now, on this example site, there's a few events that have already been tracked as examples. So you can see visitor, subscribe to push, notification clicked. Remember those, we're going to come back to these. But you can see here there's a few more worker actions or rubber ducky table, for example. Like I said, they are very open. But here's one, video watched. And you can see here that the video watched had the label blue and it had the event value 1. So we can go as granular as this. You can see here as well that there's some more down here. So once the events have begun to track and begun to go into the event log, you can simply go to triggered notifications. You see I've already made a simple one here. Now you would do whatever you want here. So I've just made a very, very, very simple notification with an action button here to our YouTube channel, linking to our home site. And we want to set the trigger to be video watched. Just get rid of that. Now this would pull the trigger whenever the category and action was video watched. But let's say we just want it to go for that particular one that we saw in the event log. We would set that to blue. And if we wanted to, we could set that to 1. So now you can see how granular this is. It will just ping for that event. But if we want it to go for any video, we can just leave it there. So you can see how granular you can get and how specific you can get in there. You can also set some conversion tracking, which we'll go over more on Thursday. And here is very important, you can set a time delay. So when the trigger is pulled, you want the notification to be sent 15 minutes after the trigger is pulled. It's also worth noting you can do segment targeting. So if they, if they've already watched the video and already received the notification, you can create a segment. Sky's the limit with this. This is a little bit more of an advanced feature, but it's a new feature and it's very, very, very useful. Like I said, trigger notifications are going to be different for each vertical. That was just an example of how to set one up. But for e-commerce, maybe you want to do something like an abandoned cart or an item shipped and check out our new sales or anything like that. Or maybe you're an agency, you want to be doing, you're doing PDF, downloading PDFs and things like that. Maybe you're a hotel or a travel site and you want to do a confirmation page or a landing page, and you want to send notifications to remind people to book. Maybe you're sports and gaming and you do registration, or they entered their email, so you want to make sure that you can send them email drips. There's a lot of different variations, but like I said, the easiest way to understand it is you need to begin to track events. That will populate logs, and once the event logs have begun to populate, you can use those events in campaigns. There's 2 things I want to touch on here. If you're using a Shopify integration or using the Shopify app, we automatically collect a lot of things for you, so you don't have to do any of the work. It's even easier. And possibly we'll go over that in another webinar, but that will literally take you 2 minutes to turn on, input the content, input the links, everything else is automatically tracked for you. It's as simple as just turning on the notification. And there are 2 default things that we have can track for you, but we have them off. So to access them, you go to websites here, you click on edit, you click on MISC settings, and you can turn these 2 things on here. Remember those things I showed you. So they are off by default, but you can turn them on. Now this will track notification clicks and subscriptions as events. So if you wanted to do a much more complex welcome notification, that is how you do it. And here you can do a welcome drip or anything like that. Okay, so I think the last thing I want to touch on before we sort of close out today is our integrations. We've got a wide variety of automatic integrations that you can just turn on. And I think it's probably one of our most looked over features, but has the most potential. So for instance, if you've got a MailChimp account and this is your ESP and you're sending out emails, twice a day or something like that, and you're not seeing the conversions or anything, or you just want to reach your customer base better, you can link your MailChimp account with our Aimtail account and automatically send out push notifications based on the emails that you're sending, for example. It's worth just searching for whatever integration you want. We've got a lot of them on here, and you can begin to see sort of some of the integrations available to you. So closing out, I just want to say that we've got a great depth to all of our automatic notifications. There's a ranging in our customizable options, and the beauty about them is you can set it and you can forget it for all verticals, no matter what you do. It's a way to add value to your notifications with minimal effort. Like one of our clients, they are an e-commerce site and they use abandoned cart notifications. So if someone abandons a cart, you can send them a notification to send them straight back to a cart, and they've generated almost $75,000 off 10 minutes of work over 6 months. So there is a lot of potential value, and they were able to track that through our conversion tracking, which, like I said, will be happening next Thursday. Just want to close out with some links. So if you need help creating a triggered push campaign, you can go to our documentation at aimtail.com. Search for triggered push campaigns, and this will help you out get started. We've also got a selection of automation examples here. Here's a couple of them. You can see here how to set up an abandoned cart and things like that. And there's a lot of different ones available, viewing a specific page and things like that. So I think that's enough for today. I'm not noticing any questions being asked, so that's fine. So there's going to be a survey once this is done if you want to go over any more topics. And yeah, we hope to see you all again. Thank you for tuning in.